Is Jiu-Jitsu really for everyone? Yes, it is. If you actually thought you were gonna come onto this video and thought that I was going to sit here and encourage you not to try Jiu-Jitsu, if you thought that I was gonna tell you, no, Jiu-Jitsu is not for you, do not give it a try, come on guys, you gotta know me better than this by now. Of course, I'm going to try to get you to give Jiu-Jitsu a shot. Welcome back to my channel, guys. If you are new here, welcome to my channel. We talk a lot about Jiu-Jitsu here, so if that is something that you are interested in, then you are in the right place. If you clicked on this video because maybe you're thinking of giving Jiu-Jitsu a try, you've never done it before, but you're a little nervous, you're a little apprehensive, well, I am here to tell you that you should absolutely 110% give Jiu-Jitsu a try no matter what. But you probably want to hear a little bit more detail than that, so let's get chatting. Let me start by saying this. I always like to say Jiu-Jitsu is for everyone, but Jiu-Jitsu is not for everyone. Does that make sense? What do I mean by that? Jiu-Jitsu does not discriminate. There is a place for everyone on the mat, no matter what age you are, whether you are male or female. It does not matter what occupation you have. It does not matter where you come from. It does not matter how big you are, how small you are, what you weigh. I can guarantee you there is a place for everyone. You truly meet every kind of person on the mats. But because the mats are truly open to every kind of person from every walk of life, you really do meet all different kinds of people, and that's what's so awesome about it. This past Saturday, my academy hosted a Long Island Jiu-Jitsu tournament for all of the schools on Long Island. It was a really great event. They had probably about 20 fights. At one point during the night, me and a couple of my friends that I train with at my gym, we were just chatting away with some other people that I didn't know, but somebody else knew, and they used to train with them, and they just reconnected, and me and my friend turned to each other and we were like, we love jiu-jitsu because it just brings so many people together. You always know people, you always meet people, and at some point you're probably going to see them again, and then it's like one big reunion, and you just meet so many different kinds of people, and it's really just such a good time. And not only in the training room, but especially when you start traveling around for tournaments, you see people maybe that you haven't seen in a while, people that you've trained with a long time ago. You always kind of reconnect to these people that you met at some point in your jiu-jitsu journey, and that's what makes it so fun. So long story short, you become friends with so many people that you probably wouldn't normally become friends with, and that's because jiu-jitsu it does not discriminate against anyone. Every single kind of person is on the mat. So what I'm trying to say is, even if you feel like maybe this jiu-jitsu thing is not for you, if you feel like you've maybe got this wrong with you, you feel uncomfortable about this, and you're not really sure because you have maybe this characteristic or this trait about you, I can guarantee you that jiu-jitsu is still a place for you. Maybe you're a 45-year-old woman and you've got 3 kids and you're like, I do not think that jiu-jitsu is for me. How am I going to keep up with everyone? I have trained, and I currently train with plenty of women who have kids, plenty of women who are not 25, women that are in their late 30s, 40s, even women that are older. If you make the time, if you put in the effort, no matter what age you are, no matter how many kids you have, you can absolutely do it. Maybe you're someone who is overweight, or you feel out of shape. Maybe you are someone who had life kind of just get in the way and you have not worked out maybe in 10 years and you don't know where to start. You feel like jiu-jitsu is not for you because jiu-jitsu is only for athletes. Jiu-jitsu is only for people that are in this fantastic kind of shape. That's also not the case. I've heard a lot of people say, oh, I can't start jiu-jitsu because I'm so out of shape. I'll start one day once I get into better shape. Let me just go to the gym first and then I'll start jiu-jitsu. No, use jiu-jitsu as your means of getting in shape. You will get in the best shape of your life by doing jiu-jitsu. Can other workouts and other forms of exercise complement jiu-jitsu? Yes, absolutely. But there's no sense in not starting jiu-jitsu or being worried about starting jiu-jitsu because you want to get in shape first and you want to lose the weight first. Well, how about if you try jiu-jitsu? I can guarantee you'll probably lose that weight a lot quicker than doing the Stairmaster at the gym. Whether you're a man man or woman, jiu-jitsu is a space that allows you to get into amazing shape. It's a place that allows you to feel confident in the body that you have. It's a place that allows you to love to move again. You know, as adults, we become sometimes so stagnant and just so stuck, and we stop moving the way that we're supposed to. And in jiu-jitsu, you truly start moving again. Moving in ways that you probably haven't since you were a kid. And sometimes that's what makes it so fun, because you are literally just rolling around on the mats. With that being said, even though jiu-jitsu can get you into amazing physical shape, it can also cause you to feel a little beat up sometimes. Sometimes it's kind of just part of the game. It's a really rough activity, but you don't have to live feeling beat up forever. So I want to take the next minute or so and talk a little bit about what my fiance, Todd, what he does for a living. If you guys are not new to this channel and you've watched my videos and you've probably heard me talk a ton about Todd, he was in one of my videos a couple of months ago, and if you tuned into our live video a couple of weeks ago, he joined me for that. So he is not a stranger to this channel, and some of you guys actually train with him as well. So what does Todd do, and why am I talking about him after mentioning that jiu-jitsu can kind of get you a little beat up? Todd is a functional patterns practitioner. I always tell people it's kind of like personal training, but a lot better and a lot more in-depth. Functional Patterns is a fitness company that focuses on improving posture, performance, and biomechanics, which is the study of movement. In other words, it's kind of a one-stop shop to help relieve people of their pain, to feel stronger, to move better, and to get in better shape. It is beneficial no matter what age you are, whether you're young, middle-aged, a little bit older, a lot older. Basically, it gets you to really understand how your body works, how your body feels, and how your body is meant to move. I will list all of Todd's information in the description box down below. If jiu-jitsu has made you a little broken, if you want to try jiu-jitsu and you're scared of getting broken, or if you feel pretty good but you just want to feel maybe a little bit better, I would reach out to him, see how he can help you. I think a lot of times when people think of jiu-jitsu, they think of this combat sport, which it is, but they think of MMA, right? And they see these guys fighting, they see these women fighting, and they're in phenomenal shape. They devote all of their life to it. They sleep, breathe, and eat fighting. And yes, a good portion of people that train jiu-jitsu live that kind of lifestyle as well. But that does not mean that jiu-jitsu is not a place for the hobbyist, that it's not a place for the average person who just wants a really great workout, the average person who wants to learn how to defend themselves, the average person who wants to meet new people, that wants to do a really freaking cool activity. There's a woman that I follow and I absolutely love her, and I hope one day she comes across my channel because I would love to meet her. On Instagram, she is the Jiu Jitsu Grandma. She is, I think, in her early to mid 70s, and she's a blue belt and she trains Jiu Jitsu. And not only does she train Jiu Jitsu, but she also competes. So if you're a little bit older and you're a little apprehensive about starting Jiu Jitsu, I would absolutely recommend that you go and follow her because she is so inspirational and she is just living proof that anyone can do jiu-jitsu. If you are struggling with the thought of jiu-jitsu is not for me, I'm not good enough for jiu-jitsu, there's something wrong with me, I'm too tall, I'm too short, I'm a little overweight, I'm not in shape, I'm too old, please message me. Please message me so that we can chat and so that I can encourage you to still try jiu-jitsu, because I promise that none of those things can stop you if you don't let them. So now I will say this. Again, even though jiu-jitsu is for every kind of person in the world, the mats are open to everyone. That does not necessarily mean that jiu-jitsu is for everyone. And that's okay. Why is that? If you're here and you are a returning viewer and you've watched plenty of my videos, you know how much I talk about how freaking tough jiu-jitsu is. It is not a walk in the park. It is not an easy hobby to join. It's tough. So quite frankly, it's not for everyone. The tough movements that your body is not used to, the close contact, having people, whether they're the same gender or the opposite gender, sit on top of you, being all over you, their faces right next to yours, smushing it into the mat, other people's sweat getting all over your body, even sometimes sweat drips on your face. 5.5 years later, and that still makes me want to vomit. You know, jiu-jitsu is an uncomfortable thing to do. And that's why kind of like the cliche motto of jiu-jitsu is getting comfortable being uncomfortable. And I would never tell you to use those things as an excuse to not try jiu-jitsu or as an excuse to not continue jiu-jitsu. All of those things you can kind of get used to for the most part, I promise. But at the end of the day, some of those things might deter some people from continuing training. And that's okay. Would I still encourage you to stick with it and maybe give it another shot? Yes. Jiu-jitsu also takes a lot of time. If you don't have the time to devote to jiu-jitsu at least a couple of times a week, in my opinion, I don't really know if it's worth it. Jiu-jitsu takes a lot of energy. Jiu-jitsu is also a lot of money. Academies are very expensive. Gis are so expensive. Rash guards, spats, all of the gear is very expensive. And some of us just don't have the funds at the moment to get going with jiu-jitsu. Or maybe you tried it and you're like, holy crap, I can't do this. That's okay. Jiu-jitsu will always be there. Maybe one day you will have the funds for it. Maybe one day sweating on people won't gross you out. Jiu-jitsu will always be there. So even if jiu-jitsu is not for you currently, I do recommend that maybe it always just kind of stays in the back of your mind so that one day you can come back to it. If you're watching this video and you've ever dealt with something that I talked about here, maybe you thought when you tried jiu-jitsu that you were too overweight, that you were too out of shape, or maybe you thought you were too small and you weren't strong enough. Maybe you're 65 and you really wanted to try jiu-jitsu and you were really scared because you thought that you couldn't, and then you did, and now jiu-jitsu has changed your life. Leave a comment. 1, I want to hear it. 2, let's encourage others. If anybody is watching this video and you feel like you are scared to try jiu-jitsu and you just don't know if it's the place for you, having a bunch of stories in the comments can be really helpful, can be really encouraging. So I would love for you to do that if you feel comfortable, of course. I've said this a million times, jiu-jitsu was really tough for me when I first started. I started off by taking privates with Todd, and it took me a year and a half to get into class because I was so scared. And then when I first started, the first couple of months, I did not like it. I did not like jiu-jitsu for a little while. So I always tell people, if I can do it, if I can push through the really tough stuff and end up enjoying jiu-jitsu and really just hoping that I can spend the rest of my life doing it, I tell everyone they can do it too. Anyone can do it if you are willing to give it a shot, if you're willing to put in the effort, if you're willing to give it a little bit of time. I think that, I just think that jiu-jitsu can be really beneficial for you. So if you found this video helpful, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you are not subscribed to my channel and you want to watch more videos of mine, then be sure to subscribe to my channel. I also encourage you to share this video, share other videos of mine if you would like, because it really, really helps my channel. And until the next video, I will see you guys next time.